Hey everybody, Dan here with The Wealth Instinct. I wanted to share with you my article. Is it a side hustle, a hobby, or a business? Before I get started, if you could do me a favor and subscribe to my channel and click the bell icon so that you get notifications. It's interesting these days, it seems like everybody's got some sort of side hustle, side business, some sort of like Etsy shop, something they do on the side. And it's kind of cool, um, but like anything, there's a plus side and a downside, right? I think that part of it is, the middle class is struggling and there's wage stagnation and people are trying to find ways to supplement like Uber, and people are trying to find, this gig economy where they can make money in more different creative ways. And in one sense, it's good that there's that opportunity, but the other sense, it's not good because there's less wage stability. But side note, the truth is that it's never been easier to do stuff on the side. And I think it's important to consider, you know, is this a hobby? Is this a side hustle? Is this a business? Because to me, a hobby is more about it's got some intrinsic reward. It's fun, you enjoy it. Um, it's a good way to pass the time. You feel proud of it, and if you make money, great. If you don't, you know, at least you're paying for your hobby or something, right? A side hustle to me is something that maybe you don't enjoy, particularly, like you wouldn't do it if you didn't get paid, but it's something you could do on the side and you can make a little extra money, maybe a lot of extra money, but it's never going to be your main thing, and it's always going to be focused on making money. And to me, a business is a little more serious, right? Like businesses have, might have a legal entity, they might have business bank accounts, they might have business hours. And even if you're, an online business and you don't have quote unquote hours, you might have hours for yourself or people you hire who work for you. Um, and kind of the reason I delineate this is because I think it's important to think about like where you what your ultimate vision is, right? So one of the best books there is, I think, on starting a business is The E-Myth by Michael Gerber. I think the latest one is The E-Myth Revisited by Michael Gerber, and it's the entrepreneurial myth. And and he talks about in there, I forget the term he uses, but like levels of maturity, like level one, level two, and level three, I think, of businesses. And he says you don't start at one and grow to the others. You start at a level and based on your planning, right? Like you have to plan from the beginning more about what you're ultimately trying to achieve, right? And it can start as something small and grow into something bigger, but I think if it's going to grow, you've got to take it seriously from the beginning, and you have to commit to yourself to to treat it like a business and to treat it like I work on my business between this time and this time. I have these tasks that I'm trying to do. I have these deliverables. I have this much time to reply to my customers and my prospects, right? Like you have to give yourself some accountability and some deadlines and some you have to manage your own time and manage it like a business if you want it to grow and get to that next level. I think a lot of people they just want like the they want to be the CEO of a multi-million-dollar company without really putting the work in, right? And I don't blame you. Like I want to sit on the beach and watch money roll in too, but you've got to put in some work to get there. Like it doesn't just happen, and and that's kind of the irony of it. I think is that the people that can afford to just sit on the beach and do nothing don't do that because like they're so conditioned to hustle and work hard that when they've made, even when they've gotten to a point where they don't need to work anymore, um, they choose to, right? Because you've got to be engaged, you've got to stay busy, you've got to have something going on that gives you some purpose and meaning. Um, but but yeah, but I think the most important thing is to get started. Like try something. Like I remember years ago reading this real estate investment book, and the authors talked about their very first investment, and they said this was years and years ago, but they were like four of them. They were young, didn't have any money, so four of them all went in and invested like 40 grand on a property and lost money. It was a disaster. Like it was just awful. Like it was a nightmare investment. Um, but they learned so much that it that when they did their next deal, it was a much better deal because of what they learned in the first one. And and they were able to keep doing deals and keep doing deals and keep getting better and keep learning. And it's the same with business. I mean, obviously you don't want to, you always hear, oh, the average business owner's failed so many times or whatever. And like you never set out wanting to fail. Like that's not your goal. But but you want to start something, maybe it's just selling on Amazon, or maybe it's selling on Etsy, or maybe it's, you know, Shopify, whatever. Um, Try something, just jump in, try it, and and obviously you can find a course or someone to guide you, and if you want to take it more seriously, even get a coach or something. But try something just to kind of get an idea. Like it doesn't need to be complicated. Like a virtual lemonade stand, right? Like you spend this much on, you know, products, on your costs, right, for a website or for ads or whatever, and you sell at this price. And if you sell this volume, you make a profit. And in order to get to that volume, you need this many prospects. In order to get this many prospects, you need this many ads. And you just keep it simple and focus on the basics. And what you learn doing it is just incredibly valuable, and you can translate that into other opportunities. So don't make it complicated. Don't try to be too creative. Find something that works, and just implement it, and just practice implementing and executing and improving. And one of the best trainings I found in this is Jeff Lerner's Entra Institute, and he's really broken it down in a way that makes sense to me, where he looks at like all the different opportunities and kind of compares them and says, okay, this is what this is, this is what this is, this is where I think it's good, and finding, sharing what he thinks works, and then giving you different options, and helping you learn more. And it's the introductory training is, I think, pretty inexpensive. I forget what it costs, but it's pretty inexpensive, and it's really one of the best I found. And if you do want to go further with it, you can. But he gives you enough to be able to move forward and to keep progressing on your journey. So I definitely recommend it. I'd love to hear your thoughts about it. And thank you so much for watching. Again, if you could subscribe and click on the bell icon, then you'll get notifications. Love to hear your thoughts and comments, and we will talk soon.